circle blues. When I see the circles out, I get glum, there is no doubt. Got me the old chair circle blues. When I see chairs in a round, that's when I start to panic. Flap me hands all in the air, the doctor says I'm manic. Oh no, it's not right, association every night. Got me the old chair circle blues.
Hello and welcome to Not the Chair Circle, the antidote to group therapy. Episode 4, Series 5. Now, regular viewers will know that we are dedicating this series to the subject of existentialism. Now, on the last episode, we had what was a landmark event here at the NTCC buildings, an interview with the mighty algorithm himself. It transpired that our great overlord was as much subject to existential malaise as the next entity. Now, while this interview did go some way to alleviating the fears of our CEO and producer Bobby No-Mates regarding the future of our show, Bobby did eventually agree to having a therapeutic session with our latest contributor, Professor Yo-Yo Pagoda of the University of How Are You Guy, California. This tied in rather nicely with the creation of a new slot featuring the Professor. Bobby generously agreed to have the session filmed for the benefit of you, our cherished audience.
Ups and downs with Yo-Yo. I'm doing just fine, and thank you for asking. I know that you're mine, as thoughts that are amassing. When life seems so perverse, just trust the universe, you will find there's love everlasting.
I'm not particularly sure about this, Professor.
Okay, Bobby, now just relax. Everything will be fine. Are you sure you would not like tactile immersion therapy? It's basically just talk therapy with hugs.
No, I know this sort of thing is quite common where you hail from, but I'm simply not used to reclining in company. To be honest, even talk therapy seems a little over-familiar, but I'm quite prepared for you to hypnotise me, as long as you can assure me that Shaggy is not in the building. He might come in and try and influence me to perform unnatural acts.
Oh, I think you have been watching too much TV, Bobby. But anyway, we sent Shaggy off to that place he likes, the Asda, with a long list of groceries. Now just sit back and relax.
Yes, well, I think you may have some difficulty actually hypnotising me, Professor. I mean, I'm very strong-willed, as you know.
Good.
Well...
You may close your eyes if that is within your comfort zone today.
Yes,
or simply take a soft gaze at your shoes, if that form of relaxation is available to you at this time. This is a safe space.
Yes.
Allow your mind to float wherever it will go. You have no jobs to do. You are not CEO. You are just Bobby, child of the universe. What would you like to be doing right now?
Tea? Oh, thank you, Lady Penelope. No, Parker need not fetch the Rolls Royce. I am quite content to perambulate the grounds with you.
Interesting. Who is this lady, Penelope? Is she a friend of yours? Or your mother's?
Mother? Where?
Oh, my.
Oh, I should have gone to the shops. Oh, my ears and whiskers, it's nearly tea time. Gordon's.
Gordon's what, Bobby? Is he a friend of your mother's? Is he coming to tea?
Tea? Mother never drinks tea. Tonic. I forgot her tonic.
A tonic? Is your mother on medication?
Medication? Self-medication? That's what you call it, Mother, but I don't believe you. Medication's supposed to make you better, not worse.
Bobby?
Yes, I'm going.
Bobby? Where are you, little bugger?
You better have got the gin and cigarettes. Mother's having a shit of a morning. Bobby, where are you?
Mother!
And who, pray tell, is this? Bobby, what have I told you about bringing your odd little friends home from that bloody show thing? Wait, is Michael here? I like him.
Oh, please, Mother.
Why, hello. My name is Yo-Yo Pagoda, and thank you for asking. I'm here with Bobby today to help him work through some of his issues. Are you familiar with tactile immersion therapy? I think a group hug would be most beneficial right now.
Well, really?
I don't know where you think you are, you strange little person. But this is not California, neither are we in some sort of commune. But I will have you know that I am Susie Wiles, former It Girl, Charlotte Rampling impersonator, and what's more, Bobby's mother. This is England. We do not engage in such unseemly proximity in respectable upper middle class society.
Well, I'm afraid that Mother is right, Professor. Your ways are somewhat foreign to us. It's probably best if you go now. I have an errand to run, I think.
Bloody right you've got an errand to go to. Gordon's, tonic,
Yes, Mother.
and 20 Rothmans while you're at it. And not the supermarket own brand, you little cheapskate. Well, viewers, it would seem that the cultural divide, as wide as the Atlantic itself, has once more proved too much for English sensibilities. Now, Susie may have just a paternity test, a faded court transcript, and only the vaguest recollection of the backseat of a Bentley to remind her who Bobby's father is. But hugging in public, in a built-up area, during the hours of daylight? Outrageous. And now we go to the more aesthetic part of the evening's entertainment. We have another excerpt from the recital given by old Bob, where he has regaled us with some of his pithy and earthy limericks. Run VT. Has he gone, Shaggy? A naive young woman from Cork was told she were brought by the stork, but after a day with a lad called O'Shea, she were wary of that sort of talk.
Nice one, Bob.
There's more. Well, one that slipped under the radar there. Of course, although we do know now that the mighty algorithm takes a personal interest in the show. As we haven't heard the trademark thunderclap, I assume that one was deemed suitable for broadcast. And now it's time for Right On, the slot where you, the viewer, gets to have your say. And we've been absolutely delighted with the input from you, our beloved audience, this week. We received 3 comments. That's practically the whole page filled. We had a most gratifying submission from a first-time contributor. Now this is praise indeed. Thank you very much. We also heard once more from a fellow YouTuber and friend of the show, What the Thought. They expressed some concern that we'd had a naysayer on the show. Not to worry, Mr. Workham is an occasional contributor to the show and we welcome all comments, however favourable. Thank you sincerely though for your kind concern. Next, I am most indebted to Miss Liesl Cigar Box Guitar of Wales, chair of the Bobby No Mates fan club. She writes on behalf of all the ladies expressing concern regarding Bobby's mental welfare. Well, as you can see, Miss Cigar Box Guitar, steps are being taken. I am sure that your well wishes will go a long way to ensuring our glorious leaders return to full strength very soon. And that concludes the comments for the week, but not our submissions. Our final missive comes from our most prolific contributor, yes, you guessed it, Miss, not Ms. Dorothea Spume of Newport Pagnell. As is her wont, she has sent us a handwritten supplication. How it gets here is a tribute to our glorious postal service. She writes, "To that Bobby off Ward 6, Who do you think you are kidding? The algorithm on your show? As if. I think if the algorithm was doing the job properly, you wouldn't even be on the air. I reckon it is only the Bedlam Boogie Boys that saves you, and Mike, maybe Shaggy. Anyway, not you and that xylophone. I think it was all staged. Own up, you faked the whole thing. Yours, on to you, Miss, not Ms. Dorothea Spume. Well, viewers, a first here on Not the Chair Circle, our very own conspiracy theory. What do you say, viewers? Could we here at Not the Chair Circle be guilty of such a deception? Could it even be remotely technically possible, even with Shaggy's special effects app? Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments box. I'm sure this is going to be a highly controversial topic. And now we turn to the main subject of the evening, Jean-Paul Sartre. I apologise for my appalling pronunciation of his name. Now, the biggest fan of the great man here at Not the Chair Circle is Dr. Robert. So we're off to Studio 5 and his flagship programme, Out of My Mind. Good evening, and welcome to Out of My Mind with me, Dr. Robert Robert. The subject of discourse tonight will be the ongoing debate over the universe. What, if any, effect does it have on the ordinary individual? Tonight we have a studio guest. I would like to welcome Professor Pagoda to the show.
Yes. Hi, Doctor, and thank you for having me. Namaste. Namaste,
Yes,
everyone at
thank
home.
you, Professor.
Hi.
Now, I follow the existential viewpoint taken by Jean-Paul Sartre, that the universe is indifferent to mankind, and therefore we are all responsible for our own actions. To this end, I have developed the PYT response in the treatment of certain patients. Patients presenting to me with existential dread, acute lethargy, or simply complaining of being overwhelmed by life generally. My groundbreaking PYT, Pull Yourself Together treatment is, I believe, the only response to the modern lackadaisical society. Society in which general apathy has taken the mantle of mental illness. I do not suppose for one moment that you agree with me, Professor.
Well, thank you for asking, Doctor. I never like to be confrontational, as you know, and I do believe that we all see the universe through our own personal lens. However, yes, I do have a slightly different take on how the cosmos sees us.
Sees us all? It doesn't see us at all, you West Coast hack.
Oi, Dr. Robert, that's no way to treat a guest on your show. You better come along now. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Anyway, Sartre's all right, but Albert Camus, your man when it comes to the universe and life.
What would you know about it?
Well, while they were both initially labelled existentialists, a title thought up by Sartre, by the way, Camus had a much less po-faced attitude to the whole thing. He rightly renamed his school of thought absurdism. Well, you see, viewers, while they both agreed that the universe didn't have a stake in anyone's day-to-day activities, JP got all tied up with social responsibility. Now, Albert Camus, he just trusted people to make their own minds up and do the right thing, by themselves and by society as a whole. That Jean-Paul Sartre was a bit of a bossy boat, if you ask me.
Which I didn't. How many times have you been told about sabotaging my show with your unsolicited appearances?
You know Sisyphus,
The Greek mythological character, of course.
Yeah, well, Camus said that if Sisyphus looked at things the right way, he'd be happy with his lot. Now, I seem to recall that me and you had a very similar conversation not that long ago, right here in this very studio, Doctor. Do you remember? Mind over matter. That's right. If you don't mind, it don't matter.
Anyway, viewers, I reckon the old Sartre Camus thing was just a question of chercher la femme. I reckon they were both trying to impress that Simone de Beauvoir. I mean, how many times have you seen two blokes in a caf, both trying to dazzle a woman with how smart they are? It's true. Alright, Doc, alright, calm yourself, I'm off. Come on, Professor, I'm going to take you down the Asda and introduce you to haute cuisine English style. A Fanta and a curly whirly. Shut up! Well, folks, once more Shaggy proves unexpectedly knowledgeable about the subject of one of Dr. Robert's shows. Will the good doctor ever relent and allow Shaggy to join in legitimately with the adults' conversation? Who knows? Coming up next we have Rock Gobshite, but before that the gang has asked me to express their extreme gratitude to you, our beloved audience, for looking in on our little show tonight. I, as always, would simply like to thank you for your kind indulgence. And now to the music. The Internal Combustion Gravy Train made an important announcement to the rock press this morning. Mike Gobshite was on hand to witness the scene.
Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite.
Hi, and welcome to Rock Gobshite with me, Mike Gobshite. Well, viewers, once more I find myself in the heart of the rock world. A world which I only used to view from the outside like a kid with his nose pressed against the sweet shop window. Now, I'm the first to admit that I get completely starstruck when I get to meet the bands, but tonight I'm not alone. Shaggy, founder member of Busters, the Internal Combustion Gravy Train's fan club, has been hanging around the studio all day waiting to meet his heroes. We spoke to him earlier. Hello viewers, and here we are backstage at the NTCC buildings where a certain member of our team has been wandering around in a state of some excitement this morning. Shaggy. Shaggy. Oh, what's your mic? Is it on? Hello, viewers. Shaggy, what exactly are you doing? I'm waiting for the Internal Combustion Gravy Train. They're going to be here. Here. Could you get us in after? Well, I'm sure that can be arranged. Brill. Mike, handing you back. Well, there you are, viewers. A true fan, I'm sure you'll agree. And now I'd like to show you some footage from a hastily convened press conference earlier today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you for being here at such short notice. There was excitement in the music world earlier today when Rod and Don Hemsby, the core members and founders of the Internal Combustion Gravy Train, announced the new lineup for the group's re-emergence onto the rock scene. Occasional collaborators with the band and long-time session musicians Doug and Den Dempsey will be joining to perform bass and drums, amongst other things. All four members of the band are multi-instrumentalists. Interestingly, Doug and Den are also identical twins. As Don said earlier, this should make for a great look on stage. Rumours that the band will be renamed Rod, Don, Doug and Den have been denied. Well, it's going to be a great stage look, I think you'll have to agree. No, we're very glad to have the lads on board, as I say. Marvellous chaps. And that's all we really wanted to announce today. Yeah. So, a few photographs, ladies and gentlemen, and then we shall be on our way. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The Internal Combustion Gravy Train. 'Twas a late September evening back in 1973. The inmates sitting in the lounge just watching the TV. Then matron bursts in screaming, "Hey, you patients, hit the ground!" Coming through the window was a most disturbing sound. There's a riot going on. There's a riot going on. There's a riot going on at the Basket Weavers Hotel. First up there was a piercing whine and an almighty crack. A voice said, "1, 2, testing," through cabinets of black. A guard yells, "The rubatos have set up in the grounds." Big Benny shouts, "Tonight you nuts are gonna hear some sounds. There's a riot going on. There's a riot going on. There's a riot going on at the Basket Weavers Hotel." You have been watching Not the Chair Circle, the antidote to group therapy. Written, composed and performed by Bob McGowan, aided and abetted by the people in his head. Not the Chair Circle is adapted for YouTube by removing all outer packaging and placing on a lightly greased baking tray. This has been a Bobby No Mates production. A mighty bass bin rumbles, a low G starts to ring. The band plays Hoochie Coochie Man, Space Hopper starts to sing. The inmates are cheering now, the madmen dance with glee. The matron screams, "If you don't stop, it's solitary therapy." There's a riot going on. Oh, there's a riot going on. There's a riot going on at the Basket Weavers Hotel. There's a riot going on. There's a riot going on. There's a riot.